Today's panel discussion would be on after 10th courses and opportunities, traditional diploma, vocational and skill-based courses awareness, capacity building of faculty and industry interface. To moderate this session, we have Mr. Dr. K. Lakshmi Rao, Academic Director, Jain Group of Schools. Sir, may I have you here? And we do have Mr. Tejwant Singh Chatwal, Global Head, UK Skills Limited, United Kingdom. Sir, please welcome. If you could hear a huge round of applause, that will be great. M. Varalakshmi, Principal for Jubilee Hills Public School. And we do have Mr. S. Srinivas Kumar, OSD, Telangana Tribal Welfare Residential Educational Institute. And Dr. Y. Jayashri, Principal for Oxford International School. Okay, we'll move to Mr. Shri Vinod Kumar Javed, Correspondent to for Bright Concept High School. Mr. Javed, yes, he's here. And Shri Enugala Prabhakar Reddy, Secretary and Correspondent for Shri Aurobindo High School. I'm sure he would be joining us shortly. Then Ms. Gracena Prakash, Special Officer for Talent Management, Tevris. Welcome, madam.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, let me just thank the organizers, Indie Global Festival, for giving us this opportunity and the platform to quickly discuss about the most pertinent and then crucial topic of after 10th. Yeah. And here, just before I introduce in fact, we were thinking of introducing everybody individually, but I just want to start this particular session with a very sad news that I have read just 3 days ago. I never wanted to, but I thought that it's very, very, very crucial and very relevant to this particular topic. 3 days ago, I read it in one of the newspapers that an MTech graduate from IIT Madras committed suicide with leaving one suicidal note that he was under tremendous pressure just because of the thesis that was being asked to submit. And I was really taken aback. Why? Why after achieving that particular goal, because getting into MTech is not a joke, right? He might have undergone a lot of pressure, he might have crossed a lot of hurdles. Despite all that, why he wasn't able to take up that particular small last step of hurdle and a challenge. Now who has to be blamed? Is it the parent? Is it the system? Or the schools? Or as the resource person from IIT Gandhinagar, Manish said, so the whole process, from parents to the higher education, should we start blaming everyone? Instead of doing all that, I feel that all of us have to really take that as a responsibility, especially as educators, because children are with us from 3 years, and if it is K-12 school, of course, up to 17 to 18 years. So this is the crucial time where we really have to mold them. And all of us know in this 21st century, and post-COVID especially, the things have changed, and the career options have totally changed. Now, 149 million digital jobs are coming up by 2025. Now, what are we going to do? Shall we still focus on engineering and then medicine, or shall we have to teach them something more? Who is responsible for that? And in what are the programs that we need to really imbibe and introduce in our schools so that each and every child would really understand his own core competencies. He will not take decision based on the peer. He will not take the decision based on the parental pressure. He will not take the decision based on the societal pressure. But he would be taking an independent decision in choosing his own career path. That is the most important thing that all the schools have to really do. In this connection, I would like to ask Mr. Singh, he's from UK. Now let me just understand what are the practices that they are following to introduce and motivate the children to take a proper decision. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Very simple. See, back in UK, I come from an organization where we are setting standards for employment in various job roles. And for us, the most important thing was, while we were doing our research, how relevant child's present is, the learner's present. And we realized the present is the key. There's an old song, Hindi song, I don't know how many of you have really followed it. आगे भी पीछे भी जाने न तू, जो भी है वो यही पल है. The saddest part is none of our present system in education allows the learner to be in his present. Once if you allow, and it's a very, very basic common sense is missing today. We do not have to push like though. It's very sad, somebody at this age, being so successful, committed a suicide. I'm not surprised, it's sad, because he or she was not mentally prepared to be there where he or she was. The saddest part is the society is not there when we require the most. And blaming each other doesn't make any help. What the professor said, and then you blame the school, the parents. End of the day, I believe the most important thing for us back in UK, back in our European countries, what we have started telling educators is become a foster parent.
Great. Thank you so much.
And
That's a
once you
beautiful
achieve
one.
becoming a foster parent, everything changes altogether.
Yeah. Ms. Varalakshmi. So now, how do you build the capacity among your staff members so that the teachers will be able to motivate the children to choose the right path?
Good afternoon, everybody. If the child has to be successful and as a beautiful product, it is the responsibility of the teacher who is teaching in the class. Parents, institution, course, everything is there, but it is the teacher who has to take it to the heart. Every student, whoever is assigned to her, she has to groom them. As Mr. Singh has said, as a foster parent, they have to dedicate themselves, and more so because teaching is such a profession that we are building future citizens of the country. So our job is not like anybody else's job, and for us to get up to inculcate these things, teachers need a lot of training. Without the training, I think it is very difficult. With NEP 2020, the teacher training, capacity building workshops which are happening are doing, teachers are able to manage and improve upon.
Yeah.
That is the end thing now. Teacher skill has to be improved.
Yeah, upskilling is very, very essential because the teacher should know how to motivate the children and to take the right decision. They have to be exemplary. So over to you, Mrs. Gracina. Now, how do you, see to it that there is an industry interface? At what level do you think that industry interface has to be there in your school or in any schools for that matter?
Thank you very much for the question. At the very first outset, I would like to thank my family, T. Sweries, for nominating me for this panel discussion. So coming back to your question, ma'am, we have a very, very strong leadership. So we have a very strong training system as well that is built in our T. Sweries. And because of which, we definitely have sessions planned, the university talks planned. There is a session called Life Skills Session that we have in our schools, which is actually done bi-monthly, where we have people from the industry who come and speak to our students, tell them about their success stories, and that helps or inspires our students to make decisions. So we have that is one of the things, and we also have our MOUs with different organizations like IC3 College Board, and we are in the process of having sessions with our students as well on this. So yeah,
so
that's what
career
we plan to do.
counseling.
Yes, and we have a career laboratory as well at our schools.
Okay.
Yes.
Career counseling is a part of all the CBSE schools, we all understand. Thank you very much for adding to that. And life skill program is also a part of it. Now, can anybody talk about industry interface can be done in a more practical way in the schools? Is there anyone who's doing that in your schools? And if you are doing it, please share with us.
In our school, what we do is catch them young. This is what we understand. So from class 8 itself, we see the talent of the children, maybe the subject in which they are interested, and we send them during the vacation, any vacation. We tie up with certain hospitals. If somebody is interested into science, biology, etc., into medical, we send these students for 10 days to the hospital visit, and they are there. They report to the doctors, and with all safety precautions taken care, and the exposure is there. They know what is a doctor's life, what are patients. Is this the field which I am going to go? Then what are the type of sacrifices I need to do? What is the life of a doctor? Similarly, we also have tie-ups with MNC companies where they shadow the CEO or a manager for a day. Tomorrow, if I want to become a CEO of a company, because when I ask in the class, children say, I want to become a CEO, I want to become a doctor, engineer, etc. So, okay, CEO you want? Then fine. We tie up with the companies and then we take them. We have visited Infosys and Tech Mahindra, all those companies. Our children shadow them for one whole day, whatever they are doing, they only observe them. Make notes, come and share with all the others. Maybe all will not get exposure, but whoever goes, they come and share their experiences.
That's a great thing. I heard it, and we also have done similar programs. That's the reason why I want her to share it. Because, see, when we are talking about industry interface, definitely, I'm telling you, we need to expose them to the industry, conduct some kind of a program, and then expose them to internship so that they will come out of that stage fear and they will understand exactly what industry requires.
Yeah. At T-Sweries and T-Tweries also we do that.
Yeah. Now I think Mr. Srinivas will be adding more points to this because they are already doing this program in tribal welfare.
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. At the very outset, I am of strong contention that these courses and opportunities are, most of the courses and opportunities are confined to the elite sections only or middle class sections only. Whether you may agree or disagree with me. And when it comes to underprivileged sections, especially social welfare or tribal welfare, underprivileged sections, those who are deprived, those who have been deprived of education for ages, still they are struggling a lot to cope with the other classes. This is the first phase. When it comes to courses or opportunities, our students know only 2 or 3 things. If they graduate, they want to become teachers. Or if they stop their education, they would like to become forest guards, especially tribal students, or police personnel, police constables. So that is why even when you come to PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, they are almost on the verge of extinction. There are only thousands in their groups. Their population is very less. They are totally aware, not at all aware of all these things. They are totally living in an isolation. They do not know power or internet connection, all these things. That's why we have brought them to Hyderabad. We are running 4 institutions for such groups at Hyderabad, 2 for sciences and 2 arts, in which we are trying to teach them many courses and we give them training in this counseling also. That's how we are trying to make them up.
Great. We always appreciate the tribal welfare and then rural welfare schools because you people are doing a great job. Now, over to Mr. Vinod. Why do you, in fact, have to conduct this kind of awareness programs in your school, and in what way a school is responsible for building the career of a child? Please, over to you.
I'd like to thank Indie Global Festival for giving this wonderful opportunity, and one of my dear friend who invited me, referred me. So thank you, ma'am. So I'd like to say one thing. Prior to this session, we had one panel discussion and everybody was discussing about the NEET and JEE, everything. So first of all, I'd like to quote one thing. When I enter the class, or even everybody are from the schools, if you go to the class and ask the outgoing 10th kids or 12th grade kids, so what is your goal? So I think 80% of students, they will say engineers, isn't it? So many of them, they try, they go for NEET, some for IITs, but those who have left behind, they join any engineering college, any stream. So without any goal, just they want the degree of the engineering. But what once they complete their graduation of the engineering? Many times we get the resumes of engineering graduates to become a teacher. So this is very pathetic. He's getting involved with the machines and he's trying to come to school and be a teacher. So what I think is that, as said by our allied panelist, we need to aware the parents, we need to aware the students, what is their goal in their life. We have many courses. Apart from engineering and medicine, we have many things. Nowadays you can take merchandise, it's one buying goods and selling goods, it's one of the top. You can take the example of Amazon. It's a very good business. Biomedical electronics. So there are many allied courses which the students can opt. And for this, I think the schools, they should conduct regular workshop for the parents to get the awareness for their futuristic goals of the students.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. Vinod. Yes, the awareness among the parents is also required because they...
Again, chicken came first or egg came first. So I think so. I feel very pathetic. Let me tell you, and my simple solution is very simple. Let's go and transform ourselves as educators. Blaming somebody, parents will not going to help me at all. I keep blaming, but no. Simple processes. If you start developing something known as educational tourism. Educational tourism doesn't mean that you have to go to Bangkok or UK or somewhere else. Start doing industrial visits, please. Start going visiting offices. Start going visiting McDonald's, back end. If you start developing and nurturing it from grade 1 onwards, right? Let them go to the Mother Teresa home. Let them spend a week, a part of the curriculum, holistic growth. You'll see the difference when the child is there in the grade 6. I can tell you, there's a proverb, every child is a father of a man. That will come true. The saddest part is we don't trust the child. We trust our imagination. Stop trusting yourself, start trusting the child. The day you start trusting the child will lead its way on its own. But another short, small example, allow the child in the school to make a mistake. Until and unless you don't allow him to make a mistake, the child will never learn. And then don't reprimand him. Don't complain to his parents. Have a dialogue with the child. Why it happened? What was the reason? Once you get into a dialogue mode with this child, life would change for you. You will be so much at peace. You would start looking sweet 16, let me tell you that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I always believe that discovery of child would definitely help each and every child to bloom to the fullest. And as educationists, that we need to really focus on understanding the child and discovering the child and creating more opportunities to them. And we know that, whether it is cloud computing or data analytics that are coming up, every area is going to be digitalized by 2025. Now itself it started, right? Way back early 2000, whenever we used to automate our library, we used to feel so proud about it. But now everything, digitalization is there in manufacturing, digitalization is there in finance, it is there in textiles, it is there in every inch of the industry. So now let us tell the children that it is not just software. Don't just think that I'm going to be a software engineer. When it is a software engineer, also there are various verticals. If he cannot become a software engineer, that's not going to really, the end of the life at all. The world is not going to fall. He can get into finance, he can get into sports, he can get into data analytics, he can get into any kind of program that is offered by the industry and the colleges. I think this kind of an awareness program that we need to really create, that's where I think we need to tweak in and then modify our curriculum, where we will be focusing more on the decision making of the child rather than we making the decisions for them. And giving this particular opportunity to all of us and making us speak very, very less about it, though it is voluminous. And then it's the most debatable topic, you know, if you allow, because all of us are teachers, till the bell rings, we never stop, right? All of us would have spoken for more than 6 hours, till, you know, the organizers would come and say, ma'am, stop it. But anyway, it was nice getting connected with all of you. We'll definitely keep in touch with one another so that we can bring in some kind of a small change that we can do and leave a legacy in the field of education. Thank you so much.
We'd like to conclude with one quote, what all our panelists said, कि रात के अंधेरे में कमी कभी नहीं आई, रात के अंधेरे में कमी कभी नहीं आई, कि चले चल वो मंजिल अभी नहीं आई. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Wow. Thank you so much.
We spoke so much about helping the child to explore and find out what the child wants. So at T-Sweries and T-Tweries, we ensure that we make our child understand or explore what they want, because our children are first generation learners. So the parents only know how to go to the farm and work, or work, you know, they're daily wage laborers. So we, the parents, the local parents of our students, tell them, give them the opportunity to, you know, to select the profession that they want. So I'm very happy that we are on par with all our panelists here. Thank you so much.
And despite the paucity of time, the way you beautifully moderated, and of course, thank you to all the panelists who really understood. Let's bring end to this end of this discussion. And I would like to thank all of you by giving a token of respect. And we do have Dr. Saundarya Garu, Project Officer for RUSA. Madam, could you please come here? And of course, I would request all of them if I could say 2 words.
Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Saundarya. I am the Project Officer for RUSA Government of Telangana, Department of Higher Education, and I work with Commissioner Navin Mittal, sir. I am really unfortunate in a way, because I think I missed upon many things that would have really benefited me as a mother too. But at the fag end, I was able to catch up that, yes, I think we need to allow our children to make mistakes so that we can nurture them. We can tell them it is not the end of the world and the sky is not falling. That's what I have learned ultimately. I am the mother of a daughter and who has taken her NEET exam twice. I told her it's not the end of the world. If you don't qualify, that's okay. But still, she is bent upon it. Probably the exam itself is of that nature that she could not handle the magnitude. But that doesn't mean she's going to fail in her life as a doctor. So I thought it's my responsibility to support her. So I think sessions like this will really help us to understand. Thank you so much, each and every member of the panel.
And with that note, we'll move on to give more mementos to, we'll go with our motto. Thank you so much, madam. And to Mr. Tejwan Singh Chatwalji, sir, please. And our next eminent speaker, Ms. M. Varalakshmi Garu. Madam, you have just thought how you manage your school. So that adds a bonus. And to Mr. S. Srinivas Kumar. Can we hear a round of applause for Mr. Kumar? Mr. Vinod Kumar Jadhav. Last but not least, to Ms. Gracina Prakash, our Special Officer, Talent Management from this series. Yes. Madam, yes, we want that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.